that's not the right screen. There we go. Sorry, I totally botched that. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another live read of, we're doing the Forbidden Pool. Don't know anything about this chapter. I love how hyped you guys get about reading. We're gonna start reading probably 10 to 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, you guys are sending gifts? Gifted memberships? What? Wait, time out. I don't really know gifted memberships, what gifted memberships really are. Someone explained gifted memberships to me. Like I'm a second grader. I don't do a lot of live streaming, so I don't really know all the ins and outs of this. I'm guessing, I have like guesses on what it was, but I don't want to look like an idiot. This is the first time someone's ever gifted me members. They get 1 month of channel membership free? No way. Dude, that's crazy. So, wow, Revenant, thank you so much. That's actually so thoughtful. So what is that, like a $25 donation then? So that's like just like a cooler way to donate. That's dope. I love that. I love that so much. That makes me so happy. If you have multiple tiers, they get the highest tier. Wow. That's so dope. Revenant, you are a genius. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Actually, I don't know if you're a gentleman. If you are a lady or a man. I feel like a lot of Lord of the Rings people on this channel, most of my analytics are like 95% of the people that watch this channel are men. But the women presence is very strong, kind of like Lord of the Rings. Not a lot of women in the text, but the women that are watching this stuff are incredible. I was actually going to write an essay about that. I was thinking about doing an essay on, I was talking to Lizzie yesterday, who I do the podcast with. We were both just at a wedding, so I'm a little tired. But we were both at a wedding yesterday, and we were hanging out after, and she was like, I want to write an essay about the women of Lord of the Rings. And I was like, I want to do the same. And she's like, I want to finish the book before I actually talk about it. Usually hate him. Okay, good to know. And Lizzie was like, I want to finish the book before I actually talk about it. And I was like, as soon as I read that section with Sam in the Window on the West chapter where he's talking about Galadriel, I'm like, gosh, that's all you need. It's like his opinion of Galadriel, the men's opinion of women in this book is just fantastic. They all adore and love them and think they're incredibly strong, because all the women in this are really, really incredibly strong. I don't know if we have like non-strong women in this. They're not really on the page all that much, but they're so great. Time to drink tea. What are MESBG models? I don't know what that is. Ooh, paintbrush things. There might be one in Return of the King. Okay. I'm hoping, I think Awen comes back then, right? No? Yes? I believe. Because I've heard rumor that Awen and Faramir do end up together, and their chapter or something like that is glorious. I have a lot of questions that I don't necessarily want answered, but I'm actually curious, what is your guys' favorite chapter? Like, if you were to say that there is one chapter that you are most excited for me to do a live read of, what would that be? Because there's a lot of, I think the last chapter was a really popular, we had almost 100 people on the stream watching, because I think that's a really, really popular chapter. Because after I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, that was wild. That blew my mind. But the Forbidden Pool, I don't know if there's going to be I don't know how many people, how many people would say the Forbidden Pool is your favorite chapter? I don't think so. Field of Cormalin. Interesting. Haven't heard of that. Chapter 3 of the Two Towers. The Uruk-hai chapter was so good. Oh my gosh, that was so good. It's in Return of the King? Okay, good. The Field of Cormalin. Interesting. Ooh, love that, Philip. Love that. That sounds great. So there's been some really good Lord of the Rings video games that have come out. I used to play that. Sadly, that was when I learned of Gandalf not being dead. I learned it because I played a video game. That was the Two Towers, and Gandalf was in that video game. So I was in between movies, and yeah. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna start reading in like 10 minutes. We're just chilling here, waiting for people to pile in before we start. I've heard the Scouring of the Shire. Heard lots of things about the Scouring of the Shire. Don't know much about it, but I'm excited to do that one. Ton of moments in Return of the King. Good. I'm excited for that book. It's just been sitting there like staring at me while I'm finishing this book. Like we're like this far away from being done, and this book is really falling apart. Like I don't want to do this, but like there go my pages. So this book is all over the place. The Passage of the Marshes. This chapter has fallen apart. Like the whole back half of this book is just decrepit. So I'm excited to put this book down so I don't have to like carefully put all the pages back together. Also, that gifted membership thing is so cool. I love that. Good Scouring of the Shire chapter. The Ride of the Rohirrim, or the chapter of the Super Secret bonus chapter, and the Return of the King. Okay, I like that. I love that there's a super secret bonus chapter. I've heard lots of things about the Battle of Pelennor. Oh, interesting. Gifted membership is automated, but apparently it goes to whoever has interacted with your channel the most in the last week and is not a member. But I'm guessing they have to be on the stream right there, like watching the stream. That's so cool. I love that. Thanks for interacting, guys. Thanks for hanging out. The appendices are your favorite. I'm actually so excited to get to the appendices to like talk about that and write some essays on it. I was just doing an essay right before this video, and I was just recording it. And my camera battery died, so I think I gotta like figure out how to just put visuals over the back half. But it was essentially me just talking about a speculation of what if Faramir was chosen for the Fellowship rather than Boromir. And my entire thesis is like at the beginning everything would have gone so much better, and then as soon as the breaking of the Fellowship happened, it would have seemed like it was better, but really it would have been gone to crap. Because I think it was necessary for Boromir to go and Faramir to stay back. I think that was divinely guided. But that will probably come out like Tuesday. And this is tough too, because after I finish this chapter, the window on the west, or the window on the west, not the window of the west, the window on the west, I had a bunch of things that I really wanted to write about, but I wanted to move on too. I wanted to read the Forbidden Pool. I want to like, I sometimes I don't know the pace. Like I could sit and probably on the window on the west chapter, I probably could have written another week and a half of essays on that. There were probably like 6 or 7 other ideas that I had for an essay. They wouldn't have been crazy long essays. But like even the Faramir essay that I did was, I mean like 40 minutes, but that was like 3 or 4 essays that I had in my head combined into one. And I still could write a bunch more. Like I want to talk about Lothlorien versus Ithilien and like the Blindfolded Lands. I want to talk about Faramir versus Boromir and the Temptation of the Ring. But at the same time, I do want to keep reading. I want to keep like at a healthy pace because I am dying to get back into the story every single time that I read it. I cannot wait to get to this chapter. Like every single chapter that comes after it. And these live reads are like one of the highlights of what I do and what I like to do. So I'm so excited. So we're at the Forbidden Pool. And we have, do you guys skip ahead and like read chapter titles? Because I do that all the time. Journey to the Crossroads after that. The Stairs of Cirith, or sorry. The Stairs of Cirith Ungol. Shelob's Lair. The Choices of Master Samwise is the last chapter in this book. So we're coming to it. In another month or two, we'll be done with this book, which is crazy. Love it. Sat down to paint. Everyone, welcome to the stream. Welcome. I have heard of the One Ring role-playing game. Or is that the same? Hold on. That's not the same thing as Lord of the Rings Online, right? Oh no, we're talking about a like RPG, like D&D kind of RPG. Is D&D an RPG? I haven't played D&D, although I think I would love to. Faramir really is the real deal. Faramir is one of the coolest characters in all of literature, and I will die on that hill. I think all of you would probably die on that hill too. Board game called War of the Ring. Interesting. Tabletop RPG. Interesting. I did get a haircut. Cut it off. I had a wedding yesterday, so I had to get a haircut. I went to go get a haircut on Thursday because I had a wedding on Saturday. And I went there, and they were like, hey, who are you? And I said, I have an appointment for, like, what was it, 11:30? And they said, what's your name? And I said, Jonathan. And they said, oh, your appointment is for August. You said it in the wrong month. So I said, crap, guys, I have a wedding. I was like, do you have any appointments from now? This was Thursday. I was like, do you have any appointments from now until Saturday? And they said, we have one Saturday morning. It was an hour before I had to be there for the wedding. And so I got there. They cut my hair, gave me a good haircut, ran off to the wedding because I was in the wedding. And we made it. We made it in time. Everything was good. Had to go get a tux. All that fun stuff. Yeah, this chapter is pretty short. By the way, the chapter after this one is short. Forbidden Pool, Journey to the Crossroads. Yeah, both of them are pretty short chapters. I think I'm gonna keep them split though. Ooh, wow, that is a very short chapter. Both of these are short chapters. The Forbidden Pool might be shorter than the Journey to the Crossroads. Well, that just means we're going to have another live stream later this week when I do Journey to the Crossroads. I want to do these more. I want to do these for every. I'm going to do these for every chapter now on. But like I cannot. I was salivating, waiting to read this chapter on a live stream because I was so excited to do this again. It was so fun last time. So I'm pretty pumped. Ooh, San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. When is that coming up? Because I'm curious. Yeah, I keep hearing news for Hunt for Gollum. Is that actually going to happen or is it not? I don't know. Ooh, it's happening right now. I love that. Yeah, the window on the West chapter, meeting Faramir, blew my mind. That chapter was incredible. I'm curious, like, again, I feel like you have highs in this book. Like, the last chapter was a high for me in my entire reading experience. And I haven't read this chapter yet. Not to knock the Forbidden Pool, but I'm like, can it really measure up to the last chapter? I don't know if it can, but like every single chapter is good, and every single chapter has great little bits that you can kind of write essays on and think about, and every single chapter has tons of value and is beautiful. So it's like different. It's like there are highs in this book, but like even the chapters that don't seem like highs are still perfectly written. There's very few books like this that have ever existed in human civilization. That's all I have to say about that. The events of the best video game ever to be adapted in Gollum? What do you mean? Oh, jokes. What video game was that? Last chapter is a high for you? Yeah, last chapter was mind-blowing how good that chapter was. I was stunned. Absolutely stunned by how good that was. Gotta work tonight. Oh, overnight. Bummer. Sleep is overrated. No, but enjoy. Go sleep. Cecilia, welcome. Guys, Cecilia is one of the oldest members. Everyone say hi to Cecilia. Cecilia is one of the oldest members of this channel. She's been here. This channel started years ago doing a lot of Harry Potter stuff. Because this channel was originally Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. And Cecilia, you're crazy. You don't have to do that. What the heck, guys? That's so nice. Legit, Cecilia's the best. I think, Cecilia, you're legitimately the oldest member, not like age-wise. I said that wrong. You have been the member for the longest. I think you're the longest running member. Let me actually just check that. I'm really curious now. Why does this happen? I can't even check this right now because my browser is messed up. Your 2-year membership. Celia, you're the coolest. Thank you. You're the best. You are the best. All right, you guys ready to read? 3-year anniversary of the channel in about 2 months. Love that. Yeah, this channel has been just going on. We started doing Harry Potter because it was a podcast, Harry Potter and the First Time Readers, because I was reading Harry Potter with my friends who were reading it for the first time. I've read it like 20 times, and I just wanted their reactions and their first time read experience. And then that has just progressed. After we finished that, which that one took about 1.5 years. And for any of you guys who don't know, this is like, there's like a cute story that comes to this. I'll read this in a second. I just have to tell you this cute story. So I started this podcast, Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. If you're into Harry Potter, go read it. I know some people hate it, but you know, we're about happy, positive things on this channel. I like positivity. So I started this podcast because I love this. And I just was like, I want to vicariously live through someone who's read and experienced this for the first time. I used to say this all the time, but people would ask me, you know, people ask the random question. They're like, if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be? And I would always pick a silly one, but it's not really a silly one. But I would choose to read books that I love for the first time, as if for the first time. Like I would have the ability to be able to choose, if I picked up Harry Potter again, that I could either read it like I've read it for the 20th time, or erase my memory for one read and be able to read this like for the first time again. Because there's nothing like that experience of reading a book that you love for the first time. Hi from Tenerife, Spain. Hello. Glad that we have some Spaniards here. I love that. Unless you're not Spaniard and you're just from living, or you're vacationing there or something. Welcome. I'm glad that you guys found the channel. It's like, it makes me so happy that you guys found us and are like into the same thing. But I started this podcast on Harry Potter, and then we started just doing this like once a week. We would like review like 3 or 4 chapters. And it was originally me, Danny, my friend, my childhood friend who I grew up with for a long time. We kind of ran out of touch, and then when I moved back in the area, we got back in touch again. And then Jen, who was just another friend, and then another friend named Kristen, and we just did this podcast. They read Harry Potter, and I would just like grill them with questions and wanted to vicariously live through them. And so no one was. Jen and Danny are now married, but they were not married when they initially did this. They were not even dating. They were just like, Danny kind of signed on to this podcast because he was interested in Jen, and he was like, I get to spend more time with her. This is great. And so after like literally the first podcast, they started dating. And then after like a month in, Danny, he contacts me and he's like, hey, by the way, I know this might be terrible for the podcast if like we end up not working out, but I am dating Jen. And I was like, that's great. I love that. And so at the beginning of the podcast, they were dating and they were like chatting and hanging out. And they got married about a year later, or they got engaged about a year later. They got married about another few months after that. And then now they're about to have their first kid. It's literally a podcast journey. It's been their life together. It's really random and really cool. But that's how that started. And then we pivoted to do Lord of the Rings. And we started reading Lord of the Rings, and I was listening to it, and I wasn't getting a lot from it because I was listening to it passively. And so we were reading through it, and I was like, hey guys, can we put a pause on the podcast for a little bit? I need to reread this and actually read this, like physically have a copy and read this. And then I started to do that, and I started to realize how this is the perfect book. So that's all to say that's how we got to where we are right now, where I'm doing a live read of The Forbidden Pool. But let's start. We are into the stream. I'm going to start with chapter, I can't do any Roman numerals, chapter 6 in book 2. Cecilia, we didn't actually announce that yet. So maybe I did this prematurely, but yeah, I will. I'll tell her congrats from you. Maybe I revealed something that I shouldn't have revealed. But yeah, she's very pregnant right now. Very, very pregnant. I forgot when her due date is, but soon. Maybe not soon. Maybe like, I want to say like December or something like that. So it's slow while. Okay, here we go. Chapter 6, The Forbidden Pool. We're going Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. The Forbidden Pool. Frodo woke to find Faramir bending over him. Creepy. For a second, old fear seized him, and he sat up and shrank away. Oh, he's got PTSD here, poor guy. Old fears seized him, and he sat up and shrank away. There is nothing to fear, said Faramir. Is it morning already? Said Frodo, yawning. Not yet, but night is drawing to an end, and the full moon is setting. Will you come and see it? Also, there is a matter on which I desire your counsel. I am sorry to rouse you from sleep, but will you come? Okay, so there's a lot of really funny things that I feel like are happening in this one small little, like, first 3 lines. First of all, I love that Faramir wakes him up. Second of all, this is like the feeling that you get when you're a kid and you're woken up and you realize it's like the middle of the night, but like you get ready anyway because you feel like it's morning, and then all of a sudden you're ready and you go downstairs and you're like, wait, it's still 3 a.m. I feel like that's what Frodo's experiencing right now. I am sorry to rouse you from sleep, but will you come? I'm guessing he's seen Gollum. I will, said Frodo, rising and shivering a little as he left the warm blanket and pelts. It seemed cold in the fireless cave. The noise of the water was loud in the stillness. He put on his cloak and followed Faramir. Sam, waking suddenly by some instinct of watchfulness, saw first his master's empty bed and leapt to his feet. Then he saw 2 dark figures, Frodo and a man, framed against the archway, which is now filled with a pale white light. He hurried after them, past rows of men sleeping on mattresses along the wall. As he went by the cave mouth, he saw that the curtain was now become a dazzling veil of silk and pearls and silver thread, melting icicles of moonlight. But he did not pause to admire it. And turned aside, or in turning aside, he followed his master through the narrow doorway in the wall of the cave. I love Sam's like innate ability to. I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who have, maybe not a lot of people, but I think I've done this at certain times in my life. Like, I think all of us have done this at certain times. Like, you wake up. Sorry, I gotta write a note. I can't multitask. Ability to sense like danger. You wake up at like just the right moment. Like Sam waking up here, him being like a heavy sleeper, he should not have just woken up this easily. But like, he's like sleeping right there, and like Frodo is moving about noiselessly, and all of a sudden Sam wakes up because he just senses something. Like maybe in his dream, Frodo is like in peril or danger. So Sam just wakes up and he realizes that, oh, this is actual real life. Yeah, when you wake up sleeping in the car when you get home, just that one pull into your driveway, you're like, oh, I know that. I know this turn. That is actually a great analogy. Melting icicles of moonlight. This is not actual icicles, right? Like in the night, it's not actually freezing. This is just imagery, I'm guessing? Let me read this again. Framed against the archway, which is now filled with pale white light, he hurried after them, past rows of men sleeping on mattresses along the wall. As he went by the cave mouth, he saw that the curtain was now become a dazzling veil of silk and pearls and silver thread, melting icicles of moonlight. Yes, the waterfall in the moonlight, yeah. That is beautiful. I would love that. Okay, let's keep going. They went first along a black passage, then up many wet steps, and so came to a small flat landing cut in the stone and lit by the pale sky, gleaming high above through a long, deep shaft. From here, 2 flights of steps led, one going on, as it seemed, up to the high bank of the stream, the other turning away to the left. This they followed. It wound its way up like a turret stair. A turret stair? Huh. Is that like one of those stairs that go around a building? At last they came out of the stony darkness and looked about. They were on a wide flat rock without rail or parapet. At their right, eastwards, the torrent fell, splashing over many terraces. And then, pouring down a steep race, it filled a smooth-hewn channel with a dark force of water, flecked with foam, and curling and rushing almost at their feet. It plunged sheer over the edge that yawned upon their left. A man stood there near the brink, silent, gazing down. That's a good image. The movies did that good too. Frodo turned to watch the sleek necks of the water as they curved and divided. Then he lifted his eyes and gazed far away. The world was quiet and cold, as if dawn were near. Far off in the west, the full moon was sinking, round and white. Pale mist shimmered in the great vale below. A wide gulf of silver fumes. Beneath which rolled the cool night waters of the Anduin. A black darkness loomed beyond, and in it glinted here and there, cold, sharp, remote, white, as the teeth of ghosts, the peaks of Ered Nimrais. Ered Nimrais? Spiral stair to a tower. Okay, good. Ered Nimrais. Nimrais. I like ice or ace. The White Mountains. The realm of Gondor. Tipped with everlasting snow. Huh. First pronunciation was correct. Ered Nimrais. Nimrais. I think Nimrais. Hold on. These are the mountains that are the border of Gondor and Moria. Hold on. I'm going to look up a map. Give me a second. Map. I want to find this out. This is the wait, hold on. Are they looking west? Oh, they're looking west. Okay. So, here. I'll let you guys join me on this journey. So, they're here. They're looking west, and these are the snow-capped mountains? These are the white... What did they said? The White Mountains? The mountains of the southern border. Okay, I thought it was talking about these. Because I was going to say, I feel like these wouldn't be snow-capped. But maybe they're still snow-capped. For some reason, Mount Doom and like it feels like Mistborn almost, like the ash that's probably pouring from that thing, and like the cloud covers makes this feel like it wouldn't be covered in snow. Ooh, almost all pronunciation is like Spanish. I love that. You can see their name at the far left. Oh, Ered Nimrais. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Ered Nimrais is this mountain. I thought it was this for a second. Ered Lithwi and Ered Duath. That's what it was. Ered Duath. Okay. Or Ethel Duath. Wait. What does Ered mean in... Is this Elvish? Are we speaking Elvish here? Is that mountains or like range? Ered means mountains in Sindarin. Okay, Sindarin. I gotta really work on my pronunciation. I can't wait till I get to that note in the appendices and actually figure out how to pronounce things. I probably should have done that before I started reading, but a little too late. Maybe I could still do that. Sorry, everyone. Mountains of... Wait, it means fence. Oh, Ethel means fence. What is... Ered means mountains and Ethel means fence? That's crazy. That's cool. Fences and border, since it marks border between Moria or Mordor and Gondor. Interesting. Okay. I love that. Man, I'm so glad that you guys are here helping me. Here we go. For a while, Frodo stood there on the high stone, and a shiver ran through him, wondering if anywhere in the vastness of the Nightlands his old companions walked or slept, or lay dead, shrouded in mist. Ah, that is crushing. That's got to be an essay. Frodo thinking his friends are dead. Frodo's thoughts about that crush me. Like, legitimately crush me. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Hi and bye. Hello. Thinking Frodo's friends are dead. Because Frodo's had this thought a bunch of times. Like, even in the previous chapter, I feel like Faramir actually put him off a little bit. He's like, don't worry. He's like, your friends probably aren't dead because of this happened. And Frodo's still like, no, they're dead. I wonder... I'm thinking, like, is Frodo seems more of a pessimist or an optimist? He seems more of a pessimist to some extent. Like a fighting pessimist. That's what I'll label him as. Yeah, that's true. Ever since he learned Boromir died, he has been freaking out. That is a great point. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I keep being distracted. Sam was eager for an answer to the same question, and could not refrain himself from muttering, for his master's ear alone, as he thought, "It's a fine view, no doubt, Mr. Frodo, but chilly to the heart, not to mention the bones. What's going on?" Sam's pissed because he got out of bed. I would be Sam in this occurrence. I'd be like, why the heck are we out of bed just looking at the moon? Although it's probably beautiful. Faramir heard and answered, "Moonset over Gondor, fair Ethel. As he goes from Middle-earth, glances upon the white locks of old Mindolwyn. Mindelyun. These pronunciations are tough in this chapter. I'm struggling. Okay, good. I'm glad that distractions are you guys somewhat enjoy distractions, because I'm a distracted reader, especially when I read it live like this. Yeah, that's a great point. Honestly, I think the most despairing is the right word for it. Despairing a character has been that I've read so far has been Frodo. More than any other character that I've probably read. Yeah. I don't think there's been any other character who's been quite as despairing as Frodo. But it's like, it's actually interesting. Is the ring the thing that's making him more despairing? Is the ring the thing that's like actually kind of like hurting him here? Okay, hold on. Mindelyun. That's cool. That's a cool way to say it. Mindelyun. Accent on the second. Okay. Mindelyun. Yeah, he's carrying the ring, and he realizes that this thing is like the ring is kind of crushing him. But I'm curious how much is inflaming his insecurities here, because like he should have, when Boromir is dead, he should have this thought that goes on in his head, oh my gosh, everyone else is probably dead too. Faramir puts his mind at ease. How does Faramir do that again? How does Faramir do that? In the previous chapter, he says something to Frodo, and how does he do that? You guys someone refresh my memory on that. There's a moment where Frodo despairs after the death of Boromir. He tells him about the boat. Oh yeah, someone gave him a funeral. That's what it was. Yes. So he's like, your friends, they gave him an honorable funeral. So how would they still be dead if they gave him an honorable funeral? And Frodo's like, no, stop. They're still dead. He like wants to be miserable almost. And it has to be an effect of the ring. That has to be the ring doing that to some extent, because I don't know if there are definitely people like that in real life, but yeah. Interesting. Great catch, guys. Thank you for that little tidbit. Also, like the stream if you can, so more people can watch this. And so we can get more Lord of the Rings nerds out here. I love this. Okay, here we go. Okay. Mindalluine. It's worth a few shivers. But that is not what I brought you to see. Though, as for you, Samwise, you were not brought. And do but pay the penalty of your watchfulness. A draught of wine shall amend it. Come, look now. Faramir goes, Sam, no one invited you. Sam, no one invited you. You're cold because you came on your own accord. He stepped up beside the sentinel on the dark ledge, and Frodo followed. Sam hung back. He already felt insecure enough on this high, wet platform. Faramir and Frodo looked down. Far below them, they saw the white waters pour into the foaming bowl, and then swirl darkly about a deep oval basin in the rocks, until they found their way out again through a narrow gate, and flowed away, fuming and chattering into calmer and more level reaches. The moonlight still slanted down to the fall's foot, and gleamed on the ripples of the basin. Presently, Frodo was aware of a small, dark thing on the near bank. But even as he looked at it, it dived and vanished just beyond the boil and bubble of the fall, cleaving the black water as neatly as an arrow or an edgewise stone. Faramir turned to the man at his side. Now what would you say that is, Anborn? A squirrel or a kingfisher? Are there black kingfishers in the night pools of Mirkwood? Okay, I think I brought this up maybe in 2 chapters ago. Oh, let me catch up. Yeah, Tolkien's alliteration. It's so nice to read. You guys should all try this. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I get to try this and read this. But you guys should just read some of this out loud, just to yourself, because it's beautiful. Sarcastically chiding his sergeant. What was I gonna say? Okay, this is the question that I have. I think I asked this before. What color skin is Gollum's? Is he black right now just because he's in the darkness? But the moonlight is glimmering on him. Why would he be black? I know that his clothes are black, right? There's the one image. I gotta show you guys this. Oh gosh, what the heck happened to my computer right there? My computer just freaked out. Sorry. Okay, give me a sec. Just because it's a dark moment. Hold on, let me find this. Ted Naismith. I love this guy so much. This guy's my hero. The Two Towers. He did this image in the Two Towers of Gollum that is really interesting. Here. Look at this. That is I feel like that's a great depiction of Gollum. Like, I would say, I mean, I have him pictured as like very pale skinned in mine, but I feel like he'd be so much dirtier. I love this image of Gollum right here. And I love his hands reaching out for the ring. I wish like Sam had an eye open right here because that's kind of what he was. Yeah, exactly. Like both pale and dark in this image. I think it's so good. Sometimes described as dark, sometimes pale. Just depends on the context. Great black squirrel. Yeah, he would be filthy. It's true. And he doesn't seem like he value cleanliness. He's way too marketable in the movies. Yeah, agreed. He's like too clean in the movies. That's kind of the picture that I have now of Gollum in my head. I love the M&M wheel too behind this, like the razor sharp rock. Like that is a great M&M wheel right there. They did it good in the movies too, but man, some of these things are so good. Alrighty, let's get back to reading. This is so fun. This is so fun. Faramir turned to the man at his side. Now, what would you say that is, Anborn? A squirrel or a kingfisher? Are there black kingfishers in the night pools of Mirkwood? Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting way too distracted with questions. Why is he asking about Mirkwood? Two suggestions. Two possibilities. One, this is an elf? No, he said he turned to the man at his side. Anborn had just been to Mirkwood? Oh, that he thought. Oh, in the previous chapter. Thank you. Okay. That drove me crazy for a second. So in the previous chapter, he suggested it was a black squirrel from Mirkwood. But how does he know about a black squirrels from Mirkwood? Has he been there? Sorry, I gotta look at a map again. How close is it? There's like no chance. Would the men of Gondor really go up all the way to Mirkwood through the dead marshes and the Emyn. I mean, they're not rowing up the Anduin. I guess there's like easier paths, but that is a long journey. I feel like that'd be like a 2-month journey up there. They were just speculating. Is like Mirkwood? Oh, okay. I was gonna ask. Is Mirkwood like a rumored gross place or something like that? Like, does it have an aura about him? Is like haunted almost. It feels like that. Yeah, mystical, scary place. Yeah. So they're just like saying, oh, it must be from there. That's like cool. Again, that's like even cool lore that Tolkien puts in his writing of like he even has places that are like the notoriously mysterious and weird places. I like that. Okay, let's keep reading. Sorry for all my distractions. I know you guys like them, but sometimes I feel like I'm too distracted. Okay, 'tis not a bird, whatever else it be, answered Anborn. It has 4 limbs and dives manwise. A pretty mastery of the craft it shows, too. What is it at? Seeking a way... what is it at? Seeking a way up behind the curtain to our hidings. It seems we are discovered at last. I have my bows here, and I have posted other archers. Nigh as good marksman myself. Nigh as good marksman myself on either bank. We wait only for your command to shoot, Captain. When he says nigh as good marksman as myself, is he saying they are as good marksmen as myself, or he's saying not as good marksmen as myself? I think he's saying they're as good as him. They're as good as he is, right? Nigh is nearly as good. I like that. He's so it's like both. It's like they're almost as good as me. They're not quite there yet. Shall we shoot? Said Faramir, turning quickly to Frodo. Frodo did not answer for a moment. Then, no, he said. No, I beg you not to. If Sam had dared, he would have said yes quicker and louder, but he could not see. But he guessed well enough from their wordings what they were looking at. You know then what this thing is, said Faramir. Come now. You have seen. Tell me why it should be spared. In all our words together, you have not once spoken of your gangrel companion. And I let him be for the time. He could wait till he was caught and brought before me. I sent my keenest huntsman to seek him, but he slipped them. And they had no sights of him till now, save Anborn here. Once at dusk yester evening. But now he has done worse trespasses than only to go coney snaring, in the uplands. He has dared to come to Henneth Annwn, and his life is forfeit. They use that. Gondorians use this phrase a lot, that their life is forfeit. What does that mean? Like it seems to be like almost like an idiomatic phrase. It's interesting. It's a sign of a good writer, creating idioms in their own culture. I marvel at the creature, so secret and so sly as he is, to come sporting in the pool before our very window. Does he think that men sleep without watch all night? Why does he so? There are 2 answers, I think, said Frodo. For one thing, he knows little of men, and sly though he is, your refuge is so hidden that perhaps he does not know that men are concealed here. For another, I think he is allured here by a mastering desire, stronger than his caution. He is lured here, you say, said Faramir in a low voice. Does he then know of your burden? Oh, interesting conversation. Indeed, yes, he bore it himself for many years. He bore it, said Faramir, breathing sharply in his wonder. This matter winds itself ever in new riddles. Then he is pursuing it. Maybe. It is precious to him. But I did not speak of that. What then does this creature seek? Fish, said Frodo. Look. That's actually kind of cute. This is like the cutest Gollum conversation, or the Gollum moment that happens, I think, in the movie. Where he goes, what does he say? The precious pool? The something pool. It's nice and cool. I do like that moment in the movie. Punishable by death. Okay. Oh, so when they say his life is forfeit, it means just punishable by death. That's interesting. That seems idiomatic in like Gondor. I think that's like a great little bit of writing. This guy carried the one ring. You're telling me he carried the one ring for years and he just wants a fish to eat. You know what they should do? Anduin should just bow a fish right as Gollum's about to get it, and it'll just come up. It'll scare Gollum. It's not idiomatic? Really? Life is forfeit. I haven't heard that before. Very literal. Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it's literal. Still feels like a little idiomatic, though. Maybe not. Okay. Gollum used to be one of your favorite characters? Really? Even in the book? That's crazy. This conversation was really interesting. I love that Faramir was actually kind of shocked by this. Archaic. Okay. That's a better word. An older construction. Tolkien would love that. All right, let's keep reading. They peered down at the dark pool. A little black head appeared. Hey guys, his head is black. A little black head appeared at the far end of the basin, just out of the deep shadow of the rocks. There was a brief silver glint, and a swirl of tiny ripples. It swam to the side, and then with marvelous agility, a frog-like figure climbed out of the water and up on the bank. At once it sat down and began to gnaw at the small silver things that glittered as it turned. The last rays of the moon were now falling behind the stony wall at the pool's end. Faramir laughed softly. Fish, he said. It is a perilous hunger, or maybe not. Fish from the pool of Henneth Anun may cost him all he has to give. Now I have him at the arrow point, said Anborn. Shall I not shoot, Captain? For coming unbidden to into this place, death is our law. Wait, Anborn. Wait, it's Anborn, right? Not Angborn? I think... Why am I thinking that it's Angborn? Angborn. Anborn? Angborn? Tomato? Angmar. I'm probably thinking of Angmar, yeah. It's Anborn, not Angborn. Okay, good. Just working on my pronunciation, making sure I'm pronouncing everything correctly, which I'm not, but we're working on it. Ang means iron. Hold on, I feel a sneeze coming. It's just brewing back there. Hasn't come yet. For coming unbidden to this place, death is our law. Wait, Anborn said Faramir. This is a harder matter than it seems. What have you to say now, Frodo? Why should we spare? The creature is wretched and hungry, said Frodo, and unaware of his danger. And Gandalf, your Mithrandir, he would have you bidden you not slay him for that reason, and for others. He forbade the elves to do so. I do not know clearly why, and of what I guessed I cannot speak openly out here. But this creature is in some way bound up with my errand. Until you found us and took us, he was my guide. Now, this is interesting, and this is something that I've been speculating for a long time, but the idea that Gandalf not knows the future, but for some weird reason knows this specific part of the future. Like, he knows that Gollum is going to have some role to play in this story. I don't know how. But why did they not kill him earlier? Like, that is such a question. That's been an ongoing thing for this story. For Gandalf just showing pity and mercy to Gollum. And he told Frodo in the beginning he should do it because he still has some part to play, and that he believed that he could be rehabilitated. But I don't really think that Gandalf truly believes that he could be rehabilitated. Maybe to some extent. But Gollum seems long past that. Gandalf saw some history in advance. Yeah, he is an angel. Okay. Yeah, I'll learn about that more as I go. It's the only thing that makes sense, because why didn't the ring leave him earlier? Why Gandalf knows is a spoiler. Okay, good to know. He doesn't have that. Oh, interesting. So yeah, it's probably the different wizards. I'm sure that's like slight spoiler kind of territory, but not crazy. To maybe I'll think about writing an essay about that, but maybe not. Gandalf keeping Golly alive. All right. There are two answers. Oh no, sorry, I was totally wrong page. Your guide, said Faramir. The matter becomes ever stranger. I would do much for you, Frodo, but this I cannot grant. To let this sly wanderer go free at his own will from here. To join you later if it pleases him. Or to be caught by orcs and tell all that he knows under threat of pain. He must be slain or taken. Slain, if he be not taken very swiftly. But how can this slippery thing of many guises be caught, save by a feathered shaft? Let me go down quietly to him, said Frodo. You may keep your bows bent, and shoot me at least if I fail. Oh my gosh. I shall not run away. Okay, this is a really interesting thing. This is really interesting. Not that Frodo has a death wish, but it seems like it's getting there more and more. Yeah, exactly, Pete. Faramir does not do this. He does not kill without need. So he almost does think this is a need at some point. Or perhaps this is just something so far beyond Faramir's understanding that he's afraid of it and he's acting out of fear in that occurrence, which seems like it could be the case. But I do also love Frodo in this scene, but it also seems like he is like in the midst of processing a very fresh depression. Not really depression. This isn't depression. This is like trauma of like he's like processing through the idea that his friends might be dead and he almost wants to join them. So he's almost riskier here doing things so that like this journey will be over. He's taking more serious risks, I think. That's so interesting. Let me go down quietly to him, said Frodo. You may keep your bows bent and shoot me at least if I fail. I shall not run away. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so I don't see the passivity. Yeah. I'm not saying necessarily that. But I think there's like moments of this that kind of come for everyone, and that like, you know, you see something like that happen, like where you deal with trauma and you're like, you know, there's not like an easy solution, obviously. But there's a podcast I listen to called Binge Mode. It's one of my favorites. And they talk about Jon Snow in Game of Thrones like this, where they say like he takes more risks because he's like not necessarily just, it's not as simple as like I'm not afraid to die, but it's like I'd be okay with it because my whole world has been like ripped from me. So they're like they're like, I don't know, not like closer to it. I want to be like, you know, I'm trying to be careful with that. with what I say there. But it's just really interesting. Frodo just seems, I don't know. That is why Faramir is so cautious. It's a master taking responsibility for his servant subordinate. Yeah, honestly, that's a great way to look at it. Where you're looking for is Fey. Interesting. I didn't even know that word, but I'll take it. Yeah. Frodo's understanding that he knows he's gonna die in this quest is like he's not just processing that, he's actually coming to grips with that. Like we're seeing his live processing through this, and he's understanding that he's gonna die. So he's like, if I make it, this is my divine providence. If I don't, then it wasn't meant to be at all. And he knows he's gonna die either way. So he's like, I'm just gonna go do things, because if this really is providentially guided, then I'm gonna make it. But he almost doesn't think that, because he's like, oh, we're gonna die along the way. We're not gonna really get there. This is so interesting. Ooh, Silmarillion references? Ooh, interesting. I gotta look up that word. Maybe I'll write an essay on Fae. A word I don't know, but I will soon come to know. I'm gonna write that down. Fae. Touched by fate. Doomed to death. Is that a Tolkien word or just like a normal word? Which, I mean, they're probably one thing and the same. I've never heard the word Fae before. I like that word. Tolkien uses sometimes Fae. Very fun. What's a favorite word of your guys? Do you guys have like a favorite word? Fae is a Mexican singer and songwriter. What is the meaning of Fae? A person or thing having an otherworldly or strangely ethereal quality. I'm going to use this word all the time now, because I've been saying this in some of my essays, and that's what Faramir is. Wow, that's a great word, guys. Feya. Fae, not Tolkien. Feya, Tolkien. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fae is used in Return of the King. I love that. A Fae mood came upon him. Guys, this is a great word. I love this word. Feya means soul. I love how you guys love words. Oh my gosh, I love it. So good. Love words. All right, keep reading. Penultimate is a great word. Everyone write your favorite word. I'm going to come back to this and read everyone's favorite word. There's some great words out there. Umlaut. Go then and be swift, said Faramir. If he comes off alive, he shall be your faithful servant for the rest of his unhappy days. Lead Frodo down to the bank, Anborn, and go softly. The thing has a nose and ears. Give me your bow. Anborn grunted and led the way down the winding stairs to the landing, and then up the other stairs, until at last they came to a narrow opening shrouded with thick bushes. Passing silently through, Frodo found himself on the top of the southern bank above the pool. It was now dark, and the falls were pale and gray, reflecting only the lingering moonlight of the western sky. He could not see Gollum. He went forward a short ways, and Anborn came softly behind him. Go on, he breathed in Frodo's ear. Have a care to your right. If you fall in the pool, then no one but your fishing friend can help you. And forget not that there are bowmen near at hand, though you may not see them. Gosh. Wow. Okay, Anborn. A little morbid there, but Frodo crept forward, using his hands, Gollum-like, to feel his way and steady himself. The rocks were, for the most part, flat and smooth but slippery. He halted, listening. At first he could hear no sound, but the unceasing rush of the fall behind him. Then presently he heard, not far ahead, a hissing murmur. Fish, nice fish. White faces vanish, my precious. At last, yes. Now we can eat fish in peace. No, not in peace, precious. For precious is lost, yes, lost. Dirty hobbits, nasty hobbits, gone and left us, Gollum. And precious is gone. Only poor Smeagol all alone. No precious. Nasty men. They'll take it, my precious. These, we hates them. Fish, nice fish. Makes us strong. Makes eyes bright. Fingers tight. Yes, throttle them, precious. Throttle them all. if we get the chances, or if we get chances. Nice fish, nice fish. So it went on, almost as unceasing as the waterfall, only interrupted by a faint noise of slavering and gurgling. Frodo shivered, listening with pity and disgust. He wished it would stop, and that he never need hear that voice again. Anborn was not far behind. He could creep back and ask him to get the huntsman to shoot. They would probably get close enough while Gollum was gorging and off his guard. Only one true shot, and Frodo would be rid of the miserable voice forever. This is interesting. This is interesting because this ties into what he was saying before and what we were talking about with Gandalf, with like Gollum being touched with Fey. Is Fey an adverb, adjective, verb? Adjective or noun? Adjective. Okay. Can you use it as a noun? Thank ya. This is interesting. This is going to go more into this Gollum essay. This chapter is just a Gollum essay. Gollum touched with Fey. But no. Gollum had a claim on him now. The servant has a claim on the master for service, even service and fear. But they would have foundered in the dead marshes but for Gollum. Frodo knew too, somehow quite clearly, that Gandalf would not have wished it. Son of a gun, Gandalf is back. This is exactly what we were talking about before. Smeagol, he said softly. Fish, nice fish, said the voice. Smeagol, he said a little louder. The voice stopped. Smeagol, Master has come to look for you. Master is here. Come, Smeagol. There was no answer but a soft hiss, as of intaken breath. Come, Smeagol, said Frodo. We are in danger. Men will kill you if they find you here. Come quickly if you wish to escape death. Come to Master. No, said the voice. Not nice, Master. Leaves poor Smeagol and goes with new friends. Master can wait. Smeagol hasn't finished. There's no time, said Frodo. Bring fish with you. Come. No, must finish fish. Smeagol, said Frodo desperately. Precious will be angry. I shall take Precious, and I shall say, make him swallow the bones and choke. Never taste fish again. Come. Precious is waiting. Oh my gosh. There was a sharp hiss. Presently out of the darkness, Gollum came crawling on all fours like an erring dog called to heel. He had half-eaten fish in his mouth and another in his hand. He came close to Frodo, almost nose to nose, and sniffed at him. His pale eyes were shining. Then he took fish out of his mouth and stood up. Nice master, he whispered. Nice hobbit. Come back to poor Smeagol. Good Smeagol comes. Now, let's go. Go quickly, yes, through the trees while the faces are dark. Yes, come, let's go. Yes, we'll go soon, said Frodo. But not at once. I will go with you as I promised. I promised again, but not now. You are not safe yet. I will save you, but you must trust me. We must trust Master, said Gollum doubtfully. Why? Why not go at once? Why is the other one, the cross-rude, or where is the other one, the cross-rude hobbit? Where is he? Dang, he's putting things together here. Yeah, like reasoning with a toddler, but he's also kind of sly and smart and just knows what's going on. I feel like I kind of get that sense from him. This is interesting. Anyway, away up there, said Frodo, pointing to the waterfall. I am not going without him. We must go back. His heart sank. This was too much like trickery. He did not really fear that Faramir would allow Gollum to be killed, but he would probably make him prisoner to bind him. And certainly what Frodo did would seem a treachery to the poor treacherous creature. It would probably be impossible ever to make him understand or believe that Frodo had saved his life in the only way he could. What else could he do? To keep faith as near as he might, or as near as might be, on both sides? Come, he said, or the precious will be angry. We are going back now, up the stream. Go on, you in front. Now, this is also interesting because he doesn't have this dialogue or this like inner monologue in the movies. Like in the movie, when he takes him, it seems like Frodo doesn't count the cost here. But this is brilliant because it does seem like he counts the cost. Like he knows that by doing this, he's saving Gollum's life. But he also knows that by doing this, he's never going to have the same relationship with Gollum. That's going to be forever tarnished because he has to manipulate Gollum in some way. Like he has to do it in order to save Gollum. But Gollum's never going to look at it. That's really interesting. Do I live stream at a certain day? No. It is just whenever I finish the essays in that chapter and I want to move on to the next chapter. But this is really interesting. Inner. Count the cost. Huh. Yeah, it does come at the cost of inner dialogue, absolutely. I don't know how they could have done that to make it better. But yeah. Gollum crawled along close to the brink for a little while, snuffling and suspicious. Presently he stopped and raised his head. Something's there, he said. Not a hobbit. Suddenly he turned back. A green light was flickering in his bulging eyes. Master, master, he hissed. Wicked, tricksy, false. He spat and stretched out his long arms with white snapping fingers. At that moment, the great black shape of Anborn loomed up behind him and came down upon him. A large, strong hand took him in the nape of the neck and pinned him. He twisted round like lightning. All wet and slimy he was, wriggling like an eel, biting and scratching like a cat. But two more men came up out of the shadows. Hold still, said one, or we'll stick you as full of pins as a hedgehog. Hold still. Gollum went limp and began to whine and weep. They tied him, none too gently. Easy, easy, said Frodo. He has no strength to match you. Don't hurt him if you can help it. He'll be quieter if you don't, Smeagol. They won't hurt you. Or he goes, Smeagol, they won't hurt you. I'll go with you, and you shall come to no harm. Not unless they kill me too. Trust, master. Wow, Frodo, this is crazy, Frodo's braveness in this. In the movie, Frodo just goes, don't struggle, don't struggle. Don't hurt him. In the book, he's going, and you shall come to no harm. Not unless they kill me too. Frodo is incredible. Like, this is the same thing. I'll compare this to Harry Potter. When people read Harry Potter, or when people just watch the movies, Harry is almost no one's favorite character. When you read the books, Harry is like, he's not like the obvious, well, he is the obvious choice for who your favorite character is. But a lot of people don't pick him because they want to be like cool and niche. But Harry is the best character in that. In this, Frodo is clearly the best character in this book. Like, I love other characters maybe more. I know, actually, this is wrong. I think I love Frodo the most. I think Gimli is probably my favorite character just because I want to be cool and unique. You know, I'll be like a edgy dude. I think Gimli is my favorite, but I think Frodo is honestly he's the hero of this story. It's not Sam like the movies have. Pippin #1. Frodo lives. There's an essay in that. Frodo is alive and well in the books. Frodo is not a wimp. Pippin #1. Pippin is a great character, honestly. I love Pippin. I was talking to Lizzie about this yesterday, and between Merry and Pippin, I don't think she likes Merry more, but I think Pippin is my favorite out of the two of them, for sure. Pippin is great. Aragorn, Gandalf, Sauron. Wait, Sauron? Sauron's your favorite character? Yeah, he's not quite well. He's a little mentally off right now. He's through the dregs, but that is so cute. Your nickname when you were younger was Pippin. Your friend is Merry. That is beautiful. Sam shines in Return of the King. I'm sure he does, but I still think this is a journey about Frodo. And I can't say that yet because I don't know the third book. Frodo might suck in the third book, but right here, he's great. He's so much better right here than he is in the movie. Like, he's literally pledging his life to die for Gollum if they hurt him. So it's like weird because he's manipulating him. He knows he has to in order to keep him alive. He doesn't want to, and then he defends Gollum almost to his death, or to like, yeah, it's really cool. I just love Frodo. So good. Movies remove strong Frodo scenes. Like, yeah, the Weathertop scene is so cool. Or the one, I always think of the one where he crosses the river to Rivendell, and then he stands up against the ring wraiths. Why was that the coolest scene of all time? The ford, yeah. That was unbelievable. Oh, gosh. Okay, question. You guys probably can't answer this because I'm sure there's things that come after this. But what was one moment in the books that you would do anything to have in the movie? I have to be honest, that scene might take the cake for me. That might be the scene. Glorfindel at the forge. Or at the ford, sorry. At the forge. Hasn't come yet. I love that. Okay, good. There's better moments that are going to come up. I'm excited. That's really cool. The Barrow Downs would be so fun to have in there. That would lend itself so well to a movie. I think The Lord of the Rings, the TV series, is perfect because each chapter is a little bit different. Each chapter needs its own episode. It would be so good. It'd be so stinking good. There's one in the next few chapters. Interesting. The SOS? Wait, there's a moment that makes Tolkien cry? What? Oh my gosh. Don't tell me, but I'm excited. The last two chapters of the Return of the King? Huh. Dang, I'm so pumped, guys. You guys I have a lot of good moments coming then. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. This journey is only just beginning. All right, I got a few more pages left. Gollum turned and spat at him. The men, Gollum turned and spat at him. The men picked him up, put a hood over his eyes, and carried him off. Frodo followed them, feeling very wretched. They went through the opening behind the bushes and back, down the stairs and passages into the cave. 2 or 3 torches had been lit. Men were stirring. Sam was there, and he gave a queer look at the limp bundle that the men carried. Got him, he said to Frodo. Yes. Well, no, I didn't get him. He came to me because he trusted me at first. He trusted me at first, I'm afraid. But I did not want him tied up like this. I hope it will be all right. I hate the whole business. So do I, said Sam. And nothing will ever be all right where that piece of misery is. Sam. A man came and beckoned to the hobbits and took them to the recess at the back of the cave. Faramir was sitting there in his chair, and the lamp had been rekindled in its niche above his head. He signed to them to sit down on the stools beside him. Bring wine for the guests, he said, and bring the prisoner to me. The wine was brought. And then Anborn came carrying Gollum. He removed the cover from Gollum's head and set him on his feet, standing beside him to support him. Gollum blinked, hooding the malice of his eyes with their heavy pale lids. A very miserable creature he looked, dripping and dank, smelling of fish. He still clutched one in his hand. His sparse locks were hanging like rank weeds over his bony brows. His nose was sniveling. Loose us, he said. The cords hurt us. Yes, it does. It hurts us, and we've done nothing. Nothing, said Faramir, looking at the wretched creature with a keen glance, but without any expression in his face. but without any expression in his face, either of anger or pity or wonder. Nothing. Have you never done anything worthy of binding or of worse, punishment? However, that is not for me to judge, happily. But tonight you have come where it is death to come. The fish of this pool are dearly bought. Gollum dropped the fish from his hand. Don't want fish, he said. The price is not set on the fish, said Faramir. Only to come here, and look on the pool and bear the penalty. Only to come here and look on the pool bears the penalty of death. I have spared you so far at the prayer of Frodo here, who says that of him, at least, you have deserved some thanks. But you must also satisfy me. What is your name? Whence do you come, and whither do you go? What is your business? We are lost, said Gollum. No name, no business, no precious, nothing. Only empty, only hungry. Yes, we are hungry. A few little fishes, nasty, bony little fishes, for a poor creature. And they say death. So wise they are. So just, so very just. This is really like, Faramir is a brat here. I was going to say, but this is really like dealing with like a little toddler, like a child. You cannot reason with Gollum. He's so out of his mind. Not very wise, said Faramir. But just, yes, perhaps, just as our little wisdom allows. Unloose him, Frodo. Faramir took a small nail knife from his belt and handed it to Frodo. Gollum misunderstanding the gesture, squealed and fell down. Now, Smeagol, said Frodo, you must trust me. I will not desert you. Answer truthfully if you can. It will do you good, not harm. He cut the cords on Gollum's wrists and ankles and raised him to his feet. Come hither, said Faramir. Look at me. Do you know the name of this place? Have you been here before? Slowly, Gollum raised his eyes and looked unwillingly into Faramir's. All light went out of them, and they stared bleak and pale for a moment into the clear, unwavering eyes of the man of Gondor. There was a still silence. Then Gollum dropped his head and shrank down until he was squatting on the floor, shivering. We doesn't know and we doesn't want to know, he whimpered. Never came here. Never come again. There are locked doors and closed windows in your mind, and dark rooms behind them, said Faramir. But in this, I judge that you speak the truth. It is well for you. What oath will you swear never to return, and never to lead any living creature hither by word or sign? This is interesting. Wait, after a few minutes, ad breaks in and aren't loading, keeping the feed from progressing. Really? I don't know what's happening. That might be on YouTube's end. I don't know what it is for me. Huh. I know sometimes it messes up. It's done that. Yeah, it does that sometimes after, or it's done that for me before. I'm glad it's okay for the majority of you. That's a bit annoying. YouTube is just a bit annoying on that end with the ads that they throw on live streams. Sometimes I've been seeing some live streams where they'll put an ad next to the actual stream. I wish they would do that with mine. Sometimes they don't. Are they doing that with mine? Are you guys getting that? It's okay for you? Okay. I'm glad it's alright for you guys. Oh yeah, and I'm definitely gonna go through the Silmarillion. It's gonna be, I finish this, then I go through the Hobbit, and then we get through the Silmarillion. Very excited for that. That's something that I'm actually interested in too. I keep thinking about this, but hey Ellie, what's up? Driving, I love that. But you're driving but still commenting. I respect that. Be careful driving. And thanks for stopping in real quick. Yeah, I can't wait to get to the Silmarillion. I think that's gonna be. I'm really excited to do that because I think there's gonna be a lot there. But I think one thing that I keep thinking about this, like in the deep dive of the Numenorian heritage that we got in the prior chapter, I'm very excited to dive into what Numenor was like. Like I'm really curious. I don't really know anything about Numenor or like really what was going on there. So that's something that I'm very like. I'm excited for everything, but I'm pretty pumped to go through that one's thing. Nice. I'm glad you caught a live too. This is fun. I love doing these. These are so fun. Yeah, these are great. All right, let's keep reading. Where are we? Master knows, said Gollum with a sidelong glance at Frodo. Yes, he knows. We will promise, Master, if he saves us. We will promise to it, yes. He crawled to Frodo's feet. Save us, nice Master, he whined. Smeagol promises to Precious, promises faithfully. Never to come again, never to speak. No, never. No, Precious, no. Are you satisfied? Said Faramir. Yes, said Frodo. At least you must either accept this promise or carry out your law. You will get no more. But I promise that if he came to me, he should not be harmed, and I would not be proved faithless. Faramir sat for a moment and thought. Very good, he said at last. I surrender you to your master, to Frodo, son of Drogo. Let him declare what he will do with you. But Lord Faramir, said Frodo, bowing, you have not yet declared your will concerning the said Frodo. Wait. But Lord Faramir, said Frodo, bowing, you have not yet declared your will concerning the said Frodo. And until that is made known, he cannot shape his plan for himself or his companions. Your judgment was postponed until morning, but that is now at hand. Then I will declare my doom, said Faramir. This is interesting. Yeah, Frodo talking to third person. That kind of caught me off guard a little bit there. Said Frodo, concerning Frodo. As for you, Frodo, insofar as lies in me under higher authority, I declare you free in the realm of Gondor to the furthest of its ancient bounds, save only that neither you nor any that go with you have leave to come to this place unbidden. This doom shall stand for a year and a day, and then cease, unless you shall before that term come to Minas Tirith and present yourself to the Lord and Steward of the city. Then I will entreat him to confirm what I have done and make it lifelong. Interesting. In the meantime, whomsoever you take under your protection shall be under my protection and under the shield of Gondor. Are you answered? Okay, so this seems really cool to me because it's like he's creating a code of politics and law here. Like, to me, it seems like the only person who can give a pardon for their crimes for a lifelong pardon is Denethor, the steward or the king or whoever's in charge of Gondor. But Faramir is actually able to do that for a year and a day, or he's just able to do that for a year. And so he gives the maxed amount of time that he can for Frodo to be free. And then he's like, but if you want a lifelong like freedom or like pardon through this, you have to go to my father. This is interesting. He must seek the den of Thor. What he does here definitely affects for the future for him. It affects the future for Frodo or for Faramir. Interesting. Huh. Curious. Don't tell me, but for Faramir, interesting. So when he goes back, that's good. I'm so curious what's gonna happen. Faramir doesn't kill Frodo. Interesting. Okay. Huh. This is cool stuff. I like this. Okay. Big impact on Frodo's future. Yeah, he has some executive authority. Okay. But he's not like the ultimate power. In Gondor, I think Denethor would be, right? All right. Let's keep reading. Got 2 more pages. I like sad when I get to the end of the chapter because I know I can't read again for another few days because I gotta write these essays, which I love doing. It's like my favorite thing in the world. But Faramir sat for a moment and thought. Very good, he said at last. I surrender you to your master, to Frodo, son of Drogo. Let him declare. Oh no, sorry. I literally already read that. Sorry, I was at the wrong place. It's like, didn't I just read that? Frodo bowed. Frodo bowed low. I am answered, he said, and I place myself at your service. If that is of any worth to one so high and honorable. It is of great worth, said Faramir. And now do you take this creature, this Smeagol, under your protection? I do take Smeagol under my protection. It's like a little marriage, said Frodo. Sam sighed audibly. Sam is all of us, sitting in the back. Ugh. And not at the courtesies of which, as any hobbit would, he thoroughly approved. Indeed, in the Shire, such a matter would have required a great many more words and bows. Then I say to you, said Faramir, turning to Gollum, you are under doom of death, but while you walk with Frodo, you are safe for our part. Yet if ever you be found by any man of Gondor astray without him, the doom shall fall. And may death find you swiftly, within Gondor or without, if you do not serve well him. If you do not well serve him. Now answer me. Whither would you go? You were his guide, he says. Whither were you leading him? Gollum made no reply. Uh-oh! This I will not have a secret, said Faramir. Answer me, or I will reverse my judgment. Still, Gollum did not answer. I will answer for him, said Frodo. I don't like... okay, that annoys me. This annoys me that Frodo's answering for him. Don't answer for someone. Let Gollum say this, because you have to be able to read the eyes of Gollum here. Come on, Frodo. Don't put words in his mouth. Let Gollum say this. I will answer for him, said Frodo. He brought me to the Black Gate, as I asked, but it was impassable. There is no open gate into the nameless land, said Faramir. I don't think he would say it either, but I still think you have to give him not necessarily the opportunity, but you have to there has to be the tension there so Faramir can read exactly what Gollum is trying to do. And even so Frodo and Sam can sit there and read him. Because even when he's not saying something, he's saying something. Yeah, Raffo. All right. Seeing this, we turned aside and came by the southward road, Frodo continued. For he said that there is, or there may be, a path near to Minas Ithil. Minas Morgul, said Faramir. I do not know clearly, said Frodo. But the path climbs, I think, up into the mountains on the northern side of the vale where the old city stands. It goes up to a high cleft and so down to that which is beyond. Do you know the name of that high pass? Said Faramir. No, said Frodo. It is called Cirith Ungol, Gollum hissed sharply and began muttering to himself. Is not that its name? Said Faramir. Hold on, wait. Hold on, okay, so this isn't Gollum. I thought for a second, hold on, time out. I thought for a second when I read that was Gollum speaking. But this is Faramir speaking and Gollum is just hissing. Okay, that's interesting. That's a weird construction of a sentence. Like Gollum hisses at what he says. It's called Cirith Ungol. I thought for a second Gollum said that. That would have been wild if Gollum said that. Like he's pissed off and just says this out of nowhere. Gollum hissed sharply and began muttering to himself. Is that not its name? Said Faramir, turning to him. Oh, no, said Gollum. And then he squealed as if something had stabbed him. Yes, we heard the name once, but what does the name matter to us? Master says he must get in, so we must try some way. There's no other way to try, no. Ooh, this is like the essay that I wrote again. Here we go. No other way, said Faramir. How do you know that? And who has explored all the confines of that dark realm? He looked long and thoughtfully at Gollum. Presently he spoke again. Take this creature away, Anborn. Treat him gently, but watch him, and do not, you, Smeagol, try to dive into the falls. The rocks have such teeth there as would slay you before your time. Huh. Leave us now and take your fish. Slay you before your time. I like that. That's interesting that he's trying to figure out other ways into this land. It's like Faramir believes that there's other passes that you can go, but I just don't know of yet. That's actually fascinating. Huh. Okay. Keep reading. My dog is just sitting here looking at me, wanting to go outside. We're going to go for a walk after this. That's what I do. After I do these readings, I just go for a walk and think about these readings for like the entire time that I'm going for a walk. About all the things that are going on in that chapter. Yeah, Faramir knows where they're going is bad news. Okay, yeah. Andrew, that's actually a really interesting thing that you mentioned that, because I didn't quite understand that, but I feel like that is exactly what it is. Like, he lies, and he's actually not able to not lie because he's taken an oath. It like is hurting him to do it. Some kind of magic. Maybe there's an essay in that. Magic on oaths. Huh. Oh, yeah. Or Gollum lies first and Smeagol tells, the truth. Honestly. Ungul means spider. Interesting. Really interesting. Ungoliant. I saw a clip on that. Isn't Ungoliant Shelob's like mother or something? I think I saw a clip on that from Stephen Colbert, someone was quizzing him on like a question about that. Okay, let's keep reading. Anborn went out and Gollum went cringing before him. The curtain was drawn across the recess. Frodo, I think you do very unwisely in this, said Faramir. I do not think you should go with this creature. It is wicked. No, not altogether wicked, said Frodo. Come on, Frodo. Not wholly, perhaps, said Faramir, but malice eats it like a canker. And the evil is growing. He will lead you to no good if you will part with him. I will give him safe conduct and guidance to any point on the borders of Gondor that he may name. He would not take it, said Frodo. He would follow after me as long as he has long done. And I have promised many times to take him under my protection and to go where he led. You would not ask me to break faith with him. No, said Faramir, but my heart would. For it seems less evil to counsel another man to break troth than to do so oneself. What is troth? Gollum only knows he has been in Mordor. Oh, promise. Okay. Troth. Oh, like betroth? Like a betrothal, like a promise? Okay, that makes sense. It's a good word. I love it. I don't even have to Google things anymore. Like before, when I was like trying to figure things out, it's like, what does this word mean? And I would Google it real quick. I don't even have to do that because you guys just helped me. I love this. This is the way to read, guys. Everyone's gonna try this. His point is that Gollum could only know this if he's been in Mordor, which makes Faramir trust him even less. That's so interesting. Yeah, he's swearing on the ring. I feel like there's more power in the ring. It's interesting when they like talk about oaths in other ways. Ooh, sorry. Out of focus. When they talk about oaths in other ways, it seems like it's not quite as binding. This is like the first time. Yeah, sorry, that was me. It wasn't your quality didn't get significantly lower. It was just my I just moved out of my focus spot, which is directly on my nose, I think. But yeah, really interesting. Yeah, bad internet for a half second. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sometimes when I don't, I have it on manual focus, because when I don't, sometimes it focuses on the mic and it makes my face really blurry, which I would rather not happen. So I have to do a manual. Okay, here we go. To do oneself, especially if one sees a friend unbound, or sees a friend bound unwitting to his own harm. But no, if he will go with you, you must go now. You must now endure him. But I do not think that you were holden to go to Cirith Ungol, of which he has told you less than he knows. That much I perceive clearly in his mind. Do not go to Cirith Ungol. Where then shall I go? Said Frodo. Back to the Black Gate and deliver myself up to the guards? What do you know against this place that makes its name so dreadful? Nothing certain, said Faramir. We of Gondor do not ever pass east of the road in these days, and none of us younger men have ever done so. Nor has any of us set foot upon the mountains of shadow. Of them we know only old report and the rumor of bygone days. But there is some dark terror that dwells in the passes above Minas Morgul. If Cirith Ungol is named, old men and masters of lore will blanch and fall silent. Dang! I want to do that in a room filled with Gondorians who are lore masters. I want to just say Cirith Ungol and see what they all do. That's actually a terrifying way to put it. That makes it scarier than him just saying there is a nameless fear there. If Cirith Ungol is named, old men and masters of the lore will blanch and fall silent. How old is Shelob? Anybody have an answer for that? Was that actually written? Where's my pencil? Hold on one second. Pencil drop. Very old. Broke the tip a little bit. Still good. Oh, no, it didn't. We're good. Maybe a little bit. Unknown? Interesting. Monocles be falling left and right. That's crazy, though. That's really interesting. All right, let's keep reading. Got another page. That's it. A page left. The valley of Minas Morgul passed into evil very long ago, and it was a menace and a dread while the banished enemy dwelt yet far away. And Ithilien was still for the most part in our keeping. As you know, that city was once a strong place, proud and fair, Minas Ithil, the twin sister of our own city. But it was taken by fell men, whom the enemy in his first strength has dominated, and who wanders homeless and masterless after his fall. It is said that their lords were men of Numenor, who had fallen into dark wickedness. To them the enemy had given rings of power, and he had devoured them. Living ghosts they were become, terrible and evil. After his going, they took Minas Ithil and dwelt there, and they filled it, and all the valley about with decay. It seemed empty. Sorry, I can't read right now. It seemed empty. I keep losing my place. And was not so, for a shapeless fear lived within the ruined walls. 9 lords there were, and after the return of their master, which they aided and prepared in secret, they grew strong again. Then the 9 riders issued forth from the gates of horror, and we could not withstand them. Do not approach their citadel. You will be espied. It is a place of sleepless malice, full of lidless eyes. Do not go that way. But where else will you direct me? Said Frodo. You cannot yourself, you say, guide me to the mountains. Everyone say hi to my dog. Let me drop the camera to him. He looked back. What's up, Wes? This is Wesley. He's the best dog. He's the greatest. A fellow beast. No way. He's a cutie pie. I know. Yeah. He's a cutie. All right, let's keep reading. Wes, we'll go on a walk in a second. Give me like 10 minutes and we'll go, okay? Yeah. Relax. I know you're excited. My dog is he is a fisher. All he wants to do is fish. It's literally all he wants to do. So he goes into like the water and just chills. Juan? Why are you guys saying Huan? Silmarillion reference? Okay. All right. Cool. I'm excited to get there now. If there's a dog in the Silmarillion, that will become my favorite book of all time. I'm pumped now. Let's go. That one fact may have made me the most excited to read the Silmarillion out of everything that we've talked about now. All right, good. Now I'm really pumped, guys. We need to get to the Silmarillion. I'm gonna read the rest of the Lord of the Rings in a week to get to the Silmarillion. And he's important. I love this. Oh my gosh. All right. What was that, Wes? My chair? Okay, here we go. Let's keep reading. But where else will you direct me, said Frodo. You cannot yourself, you say, guide me to the mountains, nor over them. But over the mountains I am bound, by solemn undertaking to the council. I find a way or perish in the seeking. And if I turn back, refusing the road in its bitter end, where then shall I go among elves or men? Would you have me come to Gondor with this thing? The thing that drove your brother mad with desire? What spell would work in Minas Tirith? Or what spell it would work in Minas Tirith? Dang. Shall there be two cities of Minas Morgul, grinning at each other across a dead land filled with rottenness? Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Okay, this needs to be an essay about what would happen if the ring actually went to Gondor. Answer. There shall be two cities of Minas Morgul, grinning at each other across a dead land filled with rottenness. I should make a video and that's all that it would be. If the ring were brought to Gondor. I was thinking about making a funny video this week. I am not going to do this because this would be annoying. But making a video that it was going to be a what was the title of it going to be? It was going to be a video, what if Faramir were the king of Gondor? What would happen if Faramir were the king of Gondor? And it was just going to be this video where I literally just say, I have one line in the entire video. I was going to say, all of Middle Earth would be perfect. Or like something like that. I didn't write it yet. But I was going to say that, and then I was going to not say anything else, and I was going to record for another like 10 minutes to make it look like on YouTube it's a super serious video. But it was just me saying I think everything would be perfect if Faramir was king of Gondor. Which I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I think it'd be maybe a funny video. Maybe not. I don't know. Comedy is not like my forte, but you know, it's all right. I like writing essays. I like thinking about stuff. We're serious on this channel. Yeah, seriously. I like that he brings this up here. April 1st videos idea. I know. I got a lot of those. I like that he brings this up here and how he brings it up. He's like, you think of your brother. Look at what happened to your brother. Do you want this to happen to you? Do you want this to happen to your land? And then Faramir goes, I would not have it so. Like Faramir knows. I think Faramir is wiser to know that this isn't what they used to do. I'm actually curious. I'm sure I'll get this in the next paragraph or so, what Faramir actually wants him to do. But I'm curious what Faramir thinks they should do in this instance. You did love the rabbit stew video. Good. That was one of my favorite ones to ever make. You guys gotta go if you guys haven't seen that. That was so fun to make. It's like based off. I just did that off of my favorite SNL video on Papyrus. It was just fun. Random inspiration strikes. I'm like, I'm gonna film a video today. That's what I did. No, my battery died. Hold on, everyone. Give me a second. I gotta change it for the last 3 paragraphs. All right, I think we're back. The doom of the live stream. The black breath. I don't know what the black breath is. Has something to do with the Witch King? Sauron's black breath? Yeah, we found some Ethlis. We're good. We're not going to become a ring wraith anymore. We're good. All right, let's keep reading. I'm curious what Faramir's solution is going to be. There we go. He literally says, I know not. Only I would not have you go to death or to torment. And I do not think Mithrandir would have chosen this way. Interesting, because again, in that video that I made, I think Mithrandir's way would just be any way that they can. Do it, like, you know, as safe as they can, but whatever way they're going is the right way. Yet, since he is gone, I must take such paths as I can find. And there is no time for long searching, said Frodo. It is a hard doom and a hopeless errand, said Faramir. But at the least, remember my warning. Beware of this guide, Smeagol. He has done murder before now. I read it in him. He sighed. Oh, I love that. Faramir knowing that Smeagol has done murder. He knows this. He can see this in his eyes. Well, so we meet in part, Frodo, son of Drogo. You have no need of soft words. I do not hope to see you again on any other day under this... Wait. I do not hope to see you again on any other day under this sun? Why not? But you shall go now with my blessing upon you and upon all your people. Rest a little while food is prepared for you. Oh, because he's going to Mordor. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. I'm like, what about a return journey? He doesn't want to say hi to him on a return journey? Dang. Okay, that's even more bleak because he expects and thinks that Frodo is going to die, so he doesn't like want that juju on him. That's sad. That's so crazy. That's actually so sad. He's like a dead man walking. This is something that it feels like too. Perhaps it has something to do with like Frodo's Morgul wound. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a stretch. But like people see that he's flirting between life and death. He's like going between these two realms. So maybe they're like, I don't even want to touch this dude. He's about to die. He's a goner. All right. 2 more paragraphs. 1.5. I would be glad to learn of this. I would gladly learn how this creeping Smeagol became possessed of the thing of which we speak, and how he lost it. But I will not trouble you now. If ever beyond hope you return to the lands of the living, and we retell our tales. Love that. Okay. Whoa, hold on. Okay, so the lands of wait, time out. The lands of death are Mordor, because he's talking about coming back to the lands of the living. When he's talking about coming back to the lands of the living, he just means like coming back to Gondor, because like, you know, they're the lands of the living, right? He's not actually talking about like living and dying. Because if that's the case, then wouldn't he see that Frodo is like in between two realms, like wraith-like and not? If he ever, you know, touches grass again, if ever beyond hope you return to the lands of the living, and we retell our tales, sitting by a wall in the sun, laughing at old grief, you shall tell me then. That's a really cute line. They really hate Mordor and Gondor, yeah. Faramir is very poetic. Okay, so just coming back from Mordor in general. It could be like a little double speak too. You shall tell me then. Until that time, or some other time beyond the vision of the seeing stones of Numenor, Farewell. He rose and bowed low to Frodo, and drawing the curtain, passed out into the cave. Man, that's a good ending. I want to read that paragraph again. If ever beyond hope you return to the lands of the living, and we retell our tales sitting by a wall in the sun, laughing at old grief, you shall tell me then. That's a beautiful moment. I would love that. Merry and Pippin would love that too. Until that time, or some other time beyond the vision of the seeing stones of Numenor, farewell. Honestly, no! Bye, Faramir, for now? No! I still want him. I love him so much. Alright. Bummer. We'll get him later. What was I going to say? The moment here. Oh, this would be another fun video sign off. Like, I literally just came up with a video sign off from Lord of the Rings about how we look toward Numenor, that was, toward Elvenhome, that is, or toward Elvenhome that I memorized this, but I'm blanking on it now. One of those little brain farts. We look toward Numenor, that was, toward Elvenhome that has been. We look toward Numenor that has. We look toward Numenor that was, and beyond to Elvenhome that is, and to that which is beyond Elvenhome and will ever be. And this could be another video sign off that I do. If ever beyond hope you return to the lands of the living, and we retell our tales sitting by a wall in the sun, laughing at old grief, you shall tell me then. Until that time, or some other time beyond the visions of the seeing stones of Numenor, farewell. Imagine if I ended each video like that. End of the conversation. It's the first goodbye. Great. Freaking great chapter. That was so good. Well, the Forbidden Pool. That was a good chapter. Very different from movie. Lots of good little details there. Wow, it took us... It was like 12 pages. It took me way too long to read 12 pages. One of the things I love to do too, I did this before. Far from the Bookemere. That is great. One thing that I did on the last stream was I watched it just to catch up on all your guys' comments, and it was so fun to do that. It was kind of agony to rewatch yourself. I was almost putting on a mute halfway through the entire thing, but it was fun to just read your guys' comments. Honestly, that's so kind to hear that. There's no such thing as a long read like this. These are the highlights of my my week right now. I love doing these so much. Journey to the Crossroads is a short chapter. Honestly, in the Forbidden Pool, I feel like there's not a ton of essays. I have 4 written here. I might synthesize them. Frodo, I want to talk about Frodo and his, the thinking that his friends are dead and wanting to be dead himself. I want to talk about Fae. Fae is a great word. Maybe about oaths. I don't know if I have enough information on oaths, but that one moment seemed really strange. Maybe I'll just make a quick video about that. That'd be like a 5-minute one about how like this oath seems strange. It seems like the ring is binding it in some kind of weird power, and I don't know. And then another, maybe this will be like a comic video on what would happen if the ring were brought to Gondor. Give Gondor the weapon of the enemy. Well, Boromir, do you really want that? Because Frodo says, shall there be 2 cities of Minas Morgul, grinning at each other across a dead land filled with rottenness? What a great line. Interesting. Okay, so this is about as in-depth as we're going to get in oaths. Maybe I'll write a short essay about that, because they do seem to have a lot of importance in this story. The Doomed Sons of Fëanor. I also love this. Like, I know it's maybe not great, because like, a lot of YouTube channels, they have like fully formed out essays. So like I was just watching Jess of the Shire, and she did hers on adaptations, and it was like a fun little video to watch. But she has like very fully formed out ideas of this. The same thing with Factor Fantasy, another channel that I love. Like he has very fully formed out ideas in his essays because he's read this. For me, I'm like making so many probably small little errors and like big errors, just not even big errors on some of the things that I'm saying. But it's fun to just like track my progress. That's why I make some of this kind of stuff, because like it's fun to rewatch some of this stuff myself and to see like, oh wow, I was way off on that, and like I should have like, understood O's in this direction. I feel like that's kind of fun for you guys too. Yeah, it's fun. It's like my first book experience. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been reading, or I haven't been watching that much. Oh my gosh, $20. You guys, that is the best one. Thank you so much. Guys, your support of this channel really warms my heart. Honestly, I am blown away by you guys, and like even just like we have 76 people watching now. I think we were like peaking at around 80. Last stream we were peaking at like 100. That blows my mind. It's so I'm thank you guys so much. You guys really, I love doing this so much. Buy my dog a copy of The Hobbit. But Redbook is the best YouTube channel on Tolkien YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm actually interested. I've heard a bunch of different things. I know Girl Next Gondor is like a passion of some people. Man, you guys are the best. Thank you guys so much for your little donations. Tolkien Untangled I've heard of too. I've heard of a bunch of different ones. I've heard there's a few that are like fun channels. Like Nerd of the Rings, people say like, got a little advertisey and like he's just like bought out almost by Amazon. But I've heard that was good, but that's like more fun theorizing. But I've heard Girl Next Gondor and like Jess of the Shire, which I've watched some of Jess of the Shire stuff. I've heard that those are like ones you sit down and just enjoy. Yeah, In Deep Geek is another one that I've heard a lot. And I don't want to watch these because these people have like fully formed out ideas, and I don't want that to influence how I read it for the first time. So I'm like anxiety ridden because it's literally killing me. I should like pop on my first let me even just see this. You can see what I watch on YouTube. All my YouTube recommendations. There's like a few random things, but it's like a lot of these Tolkien YouTube channels that I just can't watch yet. So I can't wait for me to be done with the Lord of the Rings, the actual series, so I can at least watch some of the videos that people make on those. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'll find all the channels when I'm done reading. But it's great. I love it. Yeah, I've actually seen some Charlie Hopkinson stuff. I've seen a few of those ones. They're great. Is he the one that does? Who's the guy that does like Gandalf watching the Lord of the Rings or something like that and like not liking it? I don't know. Some of these people are so good in what they do. Fantasy Rex, Daniel B. Green. Interesting. Haven't heard. That's Charlie. Yeah, some people are so creative. I can do I like doing a skit every once in a while because I can like write a skit every once in a while, but sometimes these skits are so tough. I would love to be a better like skit writer. I'm not like, comedy isn't my first forte. Book clubs are my forte. I love books. I just could talk about them for hours. Just like fun discussion on this stuff. Podcast episodes. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I've heard Darth Gandalf is good too. That's what this channel is eventually going to become, that like just deep dives on all these great reads and like movies and series and stuff like that. But for now, it's just me reading Lord of the Rings for the first time. Eventually we'll get to Dune and we'll get to like, Narnia. I can't wait to do Narnia. Next podcast episode we're recording it this week. The crew has been very incredible for me because they're like, we'll do a podcast after you finish reading those and after you do the essays, which has been lovely for me. I cannot talk about how thankful I am for that, because it's like nice because I get to like finish these essays, and the podcast is like my fully formed thoughts on this after I've written all these essays. So it's going to come out sometime this week. We're going to record it. we'll live stream that too. That makes me happy. Okay, Mobilis, that's what I want this to eventually get to. Where like, yes, Sarah, I'm going to get into the Wheel of Time. That might take years, but I am 100% going to get into that. There's so many series that I want to do. I keep hearing about His Dark Materials. That's a great series that people love. But that's one thing that I am dying to do too. Like we have a bunch of Lord of the Rings people on this channel right now, and everyone loves like Tolkien. And I would love for people, if you have read Dune, then to just like enjoy and, watch my first time experience. But if you haven't, to hang out and read it with me and think about this with me as I read it. Like that is my biggest, I love that. Witcher, that's on the list too. I have like a list of like, I think 20 books right now that I'm going to do on this channel and we're going to make. And Cecilia, I promise you newts are coming back, but life has been a bit hectic lately. Okay, so everyone, Cecilia is bringing up a really good point, and this is eventually where I want to get on this channel, and this is why membership is going to become so important on this channel. So let's talk about big dreams. These are big dreams of this channel. Book clubs are my favorite thing on this earth. Actually, I take that back. I love my dog. I love my nieces and nephews. Book clubs are close up there on one of my favorite things in this earth because I love reading books like that I've loved for a long time, and I love living through other people who are experiencing that for the first time. And sometimes it hurts if they don't love the same book that you love. Like I started a book club exclusively for that reason. That's where I re-met Danny and Jen and Kristen, and where I really grew a good friendship with Lizzie, because I started a book club and I wanted to read all these books and I wanted other people's opinions on these books. And there were some books that were so over my head that I read one, and so this is a book this is a book that I read and I was blown away by it, but I had a lot of friends read it and we talked about it, and a lot of them that got different meanings. It was Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, and we all read that, and I was like blown away by that. Hi, buddy. Are you excited? We're gonna go for a walk in a few, okay? And we'll go swimming, okay? My dog is literally just sitting looking at me right here. I wish I could I can't flip the camera around and look at him, but I love reading books for the first time and reading it with people who haven't read it before and getting their opinions on it. And even if it's not just like a crazy thought-provoking book, I just love seeing people like read something that I love and just getting their reactions and then like looking at things. So eventually on this channel, the membership is going to be like more multifaceted. And I said this at the beginning when I was making Lord of the Rings essays, but I want to turn these things into book clubs where like there's like a book club on Discord of like, or whatever, wherever it was, there'd be like a book club of like 20 people all doing like very, very deep dives of these chapters. That's what we started to do on Harry Potter. And then it pittered out a little bit. I'm trying to bring it back. Cecilia's like an OG member of that, and she like knows Harry Potter better than like 99.999% of the population. And it's just fun to talk about those books because like you can like poke little holes in it. You can have like, you can joke about things. So I want to do that with Lord of the Rings eventually. Like the members who are part of this channel are in like a specific members chat, and we like have an actual book club about Lord of the Rings and like a full deep dive. Because I don't know of any podcast that's really, really like that. And that's like something that I would love. Because I know individuals who go into that and they do like deep dives on every little tidbit and, facet of a chapter. But I want a bunch of people in a room. Like I love just being part of a book club. So I want to like be a fly on the wall where there's a bunch of Tolkien experts talking about Lord of the Rings. And the tough thing is like I cannot be a part of a Lord of the Rings one that does it right now. But I want to, when I finish the Lord of the Rings, I need a podcast in my life that walks me chapter by chapter through everything. And they say, oh, this connects to the Silmarillion in this. Oh, this is something in the Unfinished Tales like this. Oh, Tolkien wrote a letter about this specific thing that gets into the, this reason. Like Tolkien fans seem like the ultimate fans of any series. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think doing this would be really a real challenge, but like even like the friendly debate about like small things about if Balrogs have wings or not is so intriguing to me. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to read the Silmarillion first and then we'll do that. I know, just phone Nemo, honestly. But I'm trying to do that more with Harry Potter, but life has taken a bit of a front seat to that. But Anyway, Celia, we'll get back to it soon. I promise. I'm sorry. We're gonna get to it soon. I promise. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for all the donuts, guys. That honestly means the world. That means so much. I don't know what a ZAR is, Cecilia. ZAR currency. South African rands? Rands? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But thank you guys. You guys are honestly the best. I really appreciate you. I'm probably going to do like 2 or 3 essays, and we'll probably do another live stream of me reading the Crossroads, Journey at the Crossroads. Journey to the Crossroads. So that's what we'll get when we get there. But thanks for joining, guys. I will see you guys in the essays. That's all I got. Bye, guys.